When I started Footprints and 2 years into the business, I realized that I did not really understand India that well. Doing business in India, especially education business or retail format, is a very difficult or very different sort of a business.
Did you have any role model?
There are people in my life who I look upon in certain areas. For example, my father, I've seen him working really hard. So I've learned, value of working hard and value of money from him.
The quest to find solutions has time and again inspired the changemakers to bring a revolution. Today, we have an evangelist who has changed the course of education with his innovative ideas and persistence. The CEO of Footprints Preschool and Daycare, let's welcome in Mr. Raj Singhal. Hi Raj.
Hi Chetan.
Thank you so much for coming.
My
Come,
pleasure.
please. I'm here to talk about you
Sure.
and your journey. And just to let the viewers know, for full disclosure, you are from my college, but you did textile engineering and now you have these preschools
Sure.
where children are singing poems. So why don't you tell people how this all happened for you?
I'm an engineer by degree, as you said, worked with TCS in my first job, and then worked with one of the early startups in India, actually. There for 2 years, I was their first few employees. And then started Brickred, which is again a technology company with few of my batchmates from IT Delhi. And then in 2013, exited that company and sold it to one of our US customers, and then got into education. So Purvesh, who's my closest friend and my partner now, he was very passionate about education. So he said, let's do preschool and daycare. I had the exposure of a lot of good services. So could connect with that and then wanted to bring that kind of service in India. So that's how we started.
It's quite a different business. I mean, you did software for US
Yeah.
clients, I'm imagining.
Yeah, right.
And so you have running a team which is making software for these companies
Right.
in the USA. And now suddenly you have this preschool. What did you have to learn? What did you have to unlearn?
I always believed that I'm doing business in India while I was pursuing my last venture. But when I started Footprints and 2 years into the business, I realized that I did not really understand India that well. Doing business in India, especially education business or retail format, is a very difficult or very different sort of a business. The customer expectations are different. So one of the biggest challenges we saw here initially when we came in, that how do you trust a preschool? So we actually started a concept wherein we live stream the entire operation to our parents on their mobile app. So they could actually see whatever we are promising, are we delivering on that or not?
Literally the children's class,
Yeah.
they can watch on their phone
Yeah,
what
right.
is happening.
Yeah.
He didn't eat his tiffin today.
Yeah.
They are seeing.
Yeah, they can see.
So that's a very high degree of, well, some will call it surveillance, but
Yeah.
a very high degree of monitoring and accountability, right?
Yeah. Transparency was the key word for us, actually. That education typically has operated more like a black box. So we wanted to sort of break that and create a transparent system where parents could actually see and experience everything that is happening inside a school. So there is a concept called active learning. So in an old world, the skills that were more required were motor skills. Today, in today's world, it is motor skills are less required. It is the I would say the ability to think. And your creative skills, those are the skills that are required. So there are a lot of activities in the curriculum. So for
Wow.
example, a 6-month child is lying, you could actually take a small pen, he will make a eye contact with the small pen, and then you can start moving that pen very slowly. That way his eye movement would get developed. So
Wow.
activities like those are there in that curriculum that could actually enhance the
So a lot of
development of a child.
research based, the
Yeah.
latest child psychology research, you're trying to apply it. And
Yes.
I mean, how were your childhood and school years? Did you have these modern Harvard research preschools?
No, not at all. I did not even go to a preschool, and I am brought up in a very ordinary Hindi medium sort of a school. I had a lot of friends in my school, and I would typically sit with backbenchers.
Did you have any role model? Do you have a role model?
There are people in my life who I look upon in certain areas. For example, my father, I've seen him working really hard. So I've learned, value of working hard and value of money from him. I've seen my mother being very calm in any situation. I've never seen her angry in any situation. With few people in my life, especially my wife, I've actually seen the woman power. Women can actually do a lot. That's something that I've learned from my wife. And of course, at Footprints, we employ most women, and I get amazed with the kind of
that's good
things
and
that they do.
very nice that you are acknowledging their contributions. But let's hear a soundbite of Mr. Abhinav and of course your wife, Miss Pooja.
I think the journey has been very natural because even in college days he was interested in how to learn. So that's where this new venture has taken him. So I remember when we were working at our software development company, the last firm that was acquired. So at that point of time, he was always interested in how we can improve the quality of engineers that we were bringing in. And then at some point of time, he got the inspiration that maybe the right way to improve the country's students is from their childhood. And that's where this journey started. So I've seen this entire journey from being a curious student to being an entrepreneur who was interested in better graduates, and now that it's transformed into better kids. So that's where he's coming from.
Raj is a very normal human being, and I think he's the same at his workplace also. He's a very, very fun-loving person. I think the biggest asset Raj has is he has a lot of patience, and he focuses more on the, work or the energy the one puts in their job or in their academics for everyone rather than on the outcome results. I'm really, really proud of him.
That's good, isn't it?
That's good.
Yeah, that's very nice of her to say things like that to you. What were the biggest hurdles you faced while setting up Footprints?
We were starting out in Gurgaon, and there is a law which says that you could only start in a proper nursery school plot. And for about 8 months, we struggled finding a site where we could start with. So we had to start with a small villa, which wasn't completely legal really. And that was the first hurdle. And then the second hurdle we faced, we always assumed going into the business, being successful entrepreneur, and from IIT, very honestly, that it will be easy for us to raise capital. We just couldn't raise any significant capital. So we had to go back to our friends and family, and they actually put in some decent amount of money. We're probably one of the largest angel investor around.
How many angels are?
40, 42 angels.
So can you talk about how you are growing so fast and how you are getting others into this, and what is the model you are following for that?
In our model, what we say is that typically it's a woman who has been in a corporate job and wants to do something meaningful with children. But in a typical franchise model, she gets stuck with a lot of other stuff like marketing or how to recruit teachers. We wanted to take all those pains away. So we said, you just focus on what you wanted to do, which is to actually work with children, nurture them, and we will take care of all the support activities like, marketing or how to recruit teachers. So we take care of all of that. So in a way, in fact, in our model, we provide a lot of guarantees, both in terms of admission as well as in terms of buying back the schools. So in case after 2 years you don't want to run it or you're running under losses, we would buy that center back. So it gives a lot of security to a woman. That's how we've been able to grow at a pretty rapid pace. Now we've come up with another model wherein we don't in fact charge royalty for a significant period of time so that they can start making money before we start taking any share from them.
Oh, nice. In this long journey, who are the important? You obviously mentioned your wife and your family, of course, but which other people are important that have helped you in this journey?
So I think some of my friends who have actually contributed in terms of money and ideas all the time when we were in trouble. Abhinav Maheshwari is one of my batchmates again from IIT Delhi. He's a close friend. Vinay, again, he was my partner in my last venture. One of the lawyer who works with me, Neeraj, and there's another person called Chetej. He just came, I don't know from where, but he just helped us big time. So these are the guys who actually contributed a lot in where we are today, actually.
And you said your best friend, Mr. Purvesh?
Yeah, of course. No questions about that. I think, more than business, I think he's somebody who actually has helped me realize what I want to do in my life, is made me a better human, I would say, and made me much more direct. I would be very diplomatic 10 years back, and I think I've become much more direct person.
What is your daily routine? Is it all work, work, work? Do you get time to relax? Do you do things for fun?
Yeah, all the time. So for me, it's sort of, there's no clear boundary that this is work, this is fun. A lot of times I'm actually at home doing some work. A lot of times I'm in the office, and I've got my children in office as well. So it's sort of mixed. I mean, in terms of what I like to do, I actually like to spend a lot of time with my friends actually. So in fact, every year we go out on a vacation, just friends.
Let's see what Mr. Purvesh has to say on screen.
We started Footprints, the inspiration was that we figured that 90% of brain development happens in the first 5 years of child's age. But in India, mostly parents are focusing on last 5 years of education, when the child had to go to college, and know what major they will do or their career, whereas the first 5 years were mostly ignored. So me and Raj thought, why should our children in India not get the world's best practices of early childhood and development? And that is when we founded Footprints. We got high scope curriculum from abroad, which is one of the most research-based scientific curriculum for early brain development. And it has been an incredible journey with Raj.
Nice.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Well, before we end, any message you want to tell youngsters of India or anybody who's trying to be an entrepreneur or an educationist?
To the young, I would say that follow your passion, and entrepreneurship is a tough journey. You should only actually go there if you're really passionate about solving a problem and something that you feel very close to your heart. If you're just getting in because of the money and the euphoria around it, that may not be the right reason. But if you continue to follow your passion, one day you'll be successful. More than actually successful, actually enjoy the entire journey.
That's good. So we have a little tradition. Before you leave, we'll take a picture together.
Sure.
And put it on the photo wall, and I'll give you a little memento. So if you can come with me there, so you can capture this moment forever.
Sure.
I'm sure you would all agree with me when I say that Mr. Raj Singhal is taking Indian education to newer heights. As long as educationists like him are setting an example for the youth, India has a promising future. This is me, Chetan Bhagat, signing off for today. Keep watching Skill Tree Education, Evangelist of India, powered by Great Place to Study, streaming on ForbesIndia.com.